Okay, welcome back. In our previous tutorial, we showed you how we could streamline the entire process of scheduling a meeting, kind of prepping an online meeting, and then documenting the fact that a meeting takes place. I think in our first tutorial, we showed kind of what the different 12 steps that might be involved using something like a WebEx or a GoToMeeting or a non-integrated solution with Salesforce. There's these 12 disparate steps that kind of take you in and out of different applications, wasting a lot of precious time. Then we showed you how using Connect Your Reps, we've developed tight integration into a contact record with Adobe Connect. So you can launch an instant meeting with an individual, or in our previous example, we actually launched that meeting with about 4 or 5 people from the same account record. So what we're doing now is we're going to circle back and take a look at what happens after the fact once a meeting is complete. Now I'm going to scroll down in John Kelly's record, and we're going to get to a related list that's referred to as Connect Meeting Invites. And you can see here we've got a couple of different meeting invite instances that demonstrate the user as having attended. It shows the date and timestamp for when they attended, and then it shows the total duration for how long they were in the meeting. So this is very important information for salespeople who need to report back to management the number of online demos they're doing. Or if you work in support, maybe your support manager wants to know how many troubleshooting sessions that you're doing in a given day. In a later tutorial, we're going to show you how these durations can be utilized by custom reports and then mapped into dashboards so that people can keep track of exactly how much time users are spending in online sessions. Now, in our previous example, we talked about how it took 4 or 5 minutes to kind of execute all the pre and post meeting activities, as far as launching the meeting, getting your customer into a meeting, and then documenting the fact that the meeting took place. And then we talked about how it would take, kind of a multiple of that, an amount of time to document everybody who attended the meeting. So I'm just going to scroll up here, and if I jump over to Jeff King, who also came to our meeting, we can scroll down, and again, automatically, we had a date and timestamp and a duration populated for Jeff King. If I jump back up here and we go to Brian Ulibarri, we'll see that, again, he came into the exact same meeting, same attendance duration, and Lisa Keeter was the other person that was in our meeting. And we've got an automatic documentation here that she had attended our meeting. She came in a little later, stayed a little less time, but you can see that all this information was populated automatically. Now, this synchronization that occurs takes place on a scheduled what's called a cron job. So every 3 hours, our system will go in and take a look at the logs inside of Adobe Connect and then synchronize those with the logs inside of Salesforce and populate this data. If you need to see that information on a more current time basis, if you need to see it before the 3 hours takes place, you can go to your administrative area in the CYS portal, get logged in, go to the account setup area, and then go to the CYR users area. This is where you would come to initially set up your account, which we're going to show you in another tutorial. But here there's an export button. So if you need to see the results of meeting attendance more rapidly than the 3 hour kind of predetermined time frame, you can always come here and force your attendance data to be pushed into Salesforce by clicking on this button. And just within a couple seconds, it would be synchronized. And then any meetings that took place in that time period, you could go and run reports on inside of Salesforce. And that is how we review the results of meetings inside of Salesforce.com once you've conducted a meeting using Connect Your Reps. We'll see you in the next tutorial.